The President singled out Australia during his Rose Garden event. Last year, Australia sent about 400,000 tonnes of beef to the US, worth about $4 billion, making it the local sector's top export market. But Australia has been closed off to US fresh beef since 2003, when exports were banned over fears of mad cow disease. The US argues the biosecurity requirements are now negligible.
They banned American beef, yet we imported $3 billion of Australian beef from them just last year alone. They won't take any of our beef. They don't want it because they don't want it to affect their farmers. And you know what? I don't blame them, but we're doing the same thing right now, starting about midnight tonight, I would say.
The US also disagrees with the premise of the pharmaceutical benefits scheme, claiming it allows for damaging pricing policies that undervalue American innovation and cause billions of dollars in lost sales. Under the PBS, the government negotiates prices directly with suppliers to make them cheaper. US officials say that means cheaper generic versions are preferenced over higher-priced originals, denying the makers their intellectual property rights. About 930 prescription medicines are on the scheme. US trade grievances also make mention of Australia's local content streaming requirements and new social media laws. Ultimately, the measures will have some impact in Australia. But overall, exports to the United States represent less than 5% of total goods from here, compared to our biggest trading partner, China, that accounts for a quarter of all export dollars. Japan, South Korea, India also come in before the US, according to the United Nations Comtrade database. Australia also runs at a trade deficit with the US, meaning it exports more goods and services than imports from the country. Today's announcement of reciprocal tariffs follows the US President's introduction of duties on steel and aluminium, along with a blanket 25% tariff on foreign-made vehicles and auto parts. China, Mexico and Canada and the European Union are also being targeted.
Europe did not start this confrontation. We think it is wrong. But my message to you today is that we have everything we need to protect our people and our prosperity. We have the largest single market in the world. We have the strength to negotiate. We have the power to push back.
Tariffs essentially are a tax on goods, and American consumers fear their costs will rise. Household and business confidence in the US is low, and there are fears the new measures will send inflation skyrocketing. Since mid-February, close to $8 trillion have been wiped off the value of US stocks due to the uncertainty surrounding the Trump administration's trade measures. Small business owners fear the impact.
Nothing is safe from these tariffs. The policy essentially is a total loss for small businesses. It's based on the idea that we can just start manufacturing everything here overnight, and that's not how a free trade market existed in the first place. So to think of the idea of being able to switch to that overnight is not a very plausible thing.